how long have you been with SunStreet?
I began as a STEP student in 2008, part of Sun Street Centers, but as a prevention coordinator, I've been here for about 6 months.
Did you come here when you were a high school student?
Yes, I was a high school student doing my community hours.
Mm. Um, what do you like most about working here?
What I like most about working here is that I have a different variation of people I work with. My age group is really diverse, so I work with students who are 13, 14-year-olds, but I also have parents who are in their 50s, grandparents, and I work with different organizations throughout the community, so I feel that it's a well-blended community effort to try to prevent the use of drugs and alcohol among minors.
So you're saying what you do, you coordinate preventions between these.
Yes, I'm only in charge of the office here in Salinas. There's an office also in Seaside, and there's one in the office of Soledad. The one in Seaside does all the peninsula, so it's including Monterey, Pacific Grove, Carmel, and all those regions. And the one in Soledad does all South County. I don't know if you guys are familiar with South County. All the way to San Gerardo, Pajaro, almost to you would say Santa Cruz County.
Mm-hmm. So what made you to start working here was because you were a SunStreet student, right?
Yes, so I started doing my community hours here when I was a sophomore in high school. In the beginning, I just was a place for me to complete my hours, but then I noticed that this was something that I actually loved. So as soon as I graduated high school, I became a program aide, and then from there I would assist the coordinator, the former coordinator, and then from there I worked myself up, and now I am the coordinator.
How do you think SunStreet benefits the community of Salinas?
I think that Sun Street Centers has a great impact on the city of Salinas. Not only do we help the youth, but we also have the voices of the youth heard in our community. Our students attend city council meetings, and they're the ones that make up their speeches. I know that there's some programs where coordinators write the letters, tell them what to do, but something that I do is that I let them express what they want to say. I might give them some feedback to help it be a better project, but it's coming from them, it's what they want to do. And most of the projects are led by them, because it's their program and the students should be leading it.
Because I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
So you said that you did your community hours here. So what did you do when you were?
So basically, I'll show you here. So basically, STEPS is the Safety and Empowerment Project in Salinas, and it's a drug and after-school program, and it's dedicated to preventing the initiative use of drugs and alcohol. Some of the things that STEPS do are listed here, like say radio station interviews, television interviews, DUI checkpoints, beach and park cleanups, peer-to-peer mentoring. But all these things, they seem like they're little things, but all these things affect every one of us. So the way we do it is that if we do a beach cleanup or a park cleanup, we do it to clean the environment, to make it look better and look more presentable. But we also do it because there's so much pipes, cigarette butts. There's also, we've even found marijuana out there, a pipe, a syringe. It's things like that are in playgrounds, and it's a place for children. Why do we need the drugs? We don't need the teens or even young children to look at these things. Since they're growing up, they should start fresh, and so we try to stop the initiative use. So that way we prevent them from the playing area, so it's just something more safer, and something just better for them to look forward rather than just those things.
So anyone can come here and give their service if they wanted to?
Yes, for the STEP students, it's anyone between the ages of 14 to 18.
14. Oh, 13.
I've had 13-year-olds.
Is there programs for younger people?
No. What we do, being part of the STEPS program, is just from between 14 to 18. I have made an exception of some 13-year-olds. I just have to review the material with the parents to make sure that it's appropriate. But I do is that we do, the STEP students and myself, we do 8-week presentations in the schools if there's like a middle school student that really needs the help, or elementary school student. So we do help the different ages regardless of if they're steps or not.
Yeah, because like, I don't know if you've heard, but apparently in middle schools it's starting sooner, the use of marijuana.
Yes, not only
And
that.
it's like I try to like tell my brother-in-law to do it, but I don't know how to tell him, well, because of this, and I don't know how to express myself, it's wrong.
Yes, the problem with this is that according to the Healthy Kids Survey, it's been shown that fourth graders start smoking tobacco for the first time. So by the by the sixth grade, by the seventh grade, middle school students, sixth graders are already smoking marijuana for the first time. Something that we do is that we go to the schools and we do presentations to them, and they're presentations that show them what the drug is, what contains in them, the symptoms, and also how can your body be affected. And I don't tell them don't do it. I tell them this is what happens to your body. Do you think it's worth it? And a few months ago, I did a gateway drug presentation. That's what it's called. And the gateway presentation has everything from alcohol, tobacco, prescription medication, e-cigarettes, Molly, marijuana. So it's like basically what's in everyone is using. And there was some seventh graders who had actually been caught with Molly. And that's very shocking to me, because when you think about Molly and all these harder drugs, we think that they're not supposed to be as accessible to students, and they're not supposed to be there for them whenever they want it. But just the increase of these students using more and more drugs is increasing. So that's why we need to start at a younger age. This is the first year that we're starting at kindergarten, first grade. We're starting that young, so we don't have to let it escalate to something larger. So we can just stop it from initially.
Do you guys work with any other organizations?
Yes, I am part also, the PARTS Coalition, which the PARTS Coalition is preventing alcohol-related traumas in Salinas. There's also one in the Peninsula in South County, and there's a lot of organizations that belong to the coalition. We even have Dora de la Rosa. She works for the health department, and she's a city councilwoman. We have Rose Moreno from the Monterey County, and then we have behavioral health, we have age and aging. So we have everything from beginning to end of all around. And it's anyone who wants to join, and it can be students as well, it can be community members, it can be anybody. It's anyone who wants to make a change and doesn't want to see any more traffic-related injuries that are related with alcohol. We meet once a month. We just talk, about it. I wish you guys can come to January 1, and that's something you're interested in. It's a great coalition, and there is about 25 to 35 organization representatives who come to our meeting.
Have you ever helped someone that really makes you feel good within yourself?
Yes, we have. Something that you want me to name one specific person?
Yes.
Okay. A specific person that I helped was a 13-year-old. He came in here with troubles because he took a weapon to school. So he was in a secondary school. So they had expelled him from school, and he was going to I think Veranda or something like that. And it was a secondary option school. So he was doing his community hours here. And when he came in here, he did need some direction regarding drugs and alcohol, but he just needed someone who would talk to him, listen, and someone who would be that role model figure. A problem with him is that he is from a single home, a single parent home, so not having the second parent was really difficult for him. And I believe that steps really help him get a lot of skills that's going to help him go back to school, to regular school, and adapt to it very well. Are you sure?
Also, what's the overall mission of Sun Streets?
The prevention department, we have the mission of preventing drugs and alcohol amongst teenagers and its initiative use. Sun Street Centers overall is preventing drug and alcohol abuse. by providing education, treatment, recovery services of all families regardless of income level.
Can you tell us about some of the history behind Sun Street? When
Yeah,
was it
sure.
established?
Yeah, so Sun Street Centers was originally established in 1968. It was funded by Martin Don and Nancy. And they're actually, this is a very great story. We just had a 45th anniversary. And the way it started is that Martin is an alcoholic. He was recovering from an alcoholic. He couldn't find a place where he can find the services that he needed. So him and his wife opened up a place to help men. And it just grew and expanded more and more and more. And we live by something that's called the social model. And that's basically, if I help someone, that person should help someone else. And it's kind of like the domino effect. One person starts it, and then we help all the people one by one, by the people that come across us. So in the beginning, it was just treatment. All we did is help, like you can say, like kind of like a rehab place, and also a counseling center. So that's when we started, and then we went bigger. Started providing DUI classes. We started providing prevention. We even have a center for families and women. It's called Pueblo del Mar, and it's very similar to the men's residential program, but it's more family orientated, and it's safer for children to have a home.
Also, financially, how are you guys? How does this program stand financially? How do you guys support this?
We're a nonprofit organization. Last year, we had a huge problem financially. We lost a huge grant. And we were actually about to close down the Salinas office because we could not get enough funds. But what we did is we did a lot of presentations. We went into the radio. We invited the media to our location to see what is it that we do, the importance of this work. And there was a lot of donations made by actually community members who actually want us to stay open. Also, CASP was a great founder. CASP is preventing any violence here in Salinas, and different organizations who were very generous to help us stay open. So we'll be staying open for another 2 years.
What are some of the obstacles you guys come across, that have prevented you guys from meeting your mission or
Some of the obstacles that are very difficult is when you have students or parents who just don't want to work with us. There's not a new ordinance, but there's an ordinance that was established a few years ago. It's called social hosting, and it's basically a legal guardian. Anyone from the age of 21 cannot provide alcohol to a minor. Because it is illegal, and that was one of the biggest obstacles. Parents want their children to drink at home because they think it's safe, but they don't think about everything that can happen to the child if they have a party at their house, liabilities, everything. They just think about, well, my son is having a party in my house. It's not a big deal, but we actually don't think of what can actually happen and think of the consequences of the people that can actually get hurt. So that was a big obstacle for us. Some parents were very friendly towards the idea, and they thought it was something better. But once we started talking to them about the criminal charges that can happen to them, that's when they started opening their eyes. We talked to them about the dangers of alcohol, because alcohol is considered a psychoactive drug. And we talk about how it's been shown that students who start drinking at a younger age are most likely to become alcoholic by the age of 25.
Do you think that parents that don't want to work with you, because you were saying that they prefer their children to drink at home, do you think it has to do with their culture?
Yes, that's one of the things. There's a cultural barrier that they have, excuse me, in the Hispanic culture, that when a guy becomes a man, when a boy becomes a man, he'll have his first drink with his father. So that's something that is sometimes an issue for us, because most parents don't want to listen to what we have to say, but we have to find a way to have our message heard loud and clear for them to see it. And it's not only in the Hispanic families, it's borderline. And something that we do is that sometimes we have to just do more than a presentation. Maybe sometimes we have to invite one of the students here, or go to resource fairs and have our voice heard somewhere. But something important that we always think about is that as long as we save one person at a time, that's all we need. As long as we change the life of one person, that's what's more important. And we hope that they will continue to do the same thing for the next person they meet.